Hello everyone, it's Dean back here with the Rogue Deck Chronicles, and we have another Rogue Deck showcase featuring a new archetype, a new trainer owner's Pokemon that came out with Ascended Heroes, and we are featuring Larry's Pokemon. In this case, we're featuring Larry's Dudunsparce EX and Larry's Komala. So this is a new archetype coming out in Ascended Heroes. Larry's Dudunsparce EX evolves from Larry's Dunsparce, which is different from regular Dunsparce. The Dunsparce EX is a Stage 1, 270 HP colorless Pokemon, and it has one single attack, Work Rush. It's for triple colorless, and it's for 80 times, and you flip a coin for every energy attached to this Pokemon. And you do 80 damage for each head. So another coin flip deck, kind of like our Baby Go Dangle that we've done a while back. And this pairs well with Larry's Komala. So Larry's Komala is a basic colorless Pokemon with the lethargic charge ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may use this ability. Attach an energy card from your hand to your active Larry's Pokemon. And I want to point out the distinction of it saying just attach an energy card. So when I first was playing with this deck, I am just so used to it being always basic, but it doesn't have to be a basic energy, it's any energy card. And that's important because as when we skip down to our energy count, we play Ignition Energy, so we can attach Ignition Energy with every Komala on our bench to power up and ramp up the attack or potential attack for Larry's Dunsparce EX. So there's a lot of great synergy there with Ignition Energy, Komala, and the Dunsparce. And we have some other support Pokemon with this as well, obviously. With Larry Dunsparce being a Stage 1, evolves from Larry's Dunsparce, which is a 70 HP Pokemon with the Rising Lunge attack 10+. You just flip a coin, if it heads, you do 20 more damage. We're not really attacking much with this card. If you are, it's either your first game you're trying to just add some damage, or you're just really in a bad place, to be honest. But one thing I really like about this card is that it has a free retreat cost. So this is our pivoter. We don't really need to worry about switch cards in this deck. We do play some cards to help us with retreating. I know we'll get that in a little bit, but Larry's Dunsparce has a free retreat. To pair with the Larry's Dunsparce, we have the Lunatone Solrock engine. If you're all around the game, you are familiar with this. The Solrock, we can attack for 70 damage. Lunatone, we can use this for the draw. And then our last Pokemon, we have a Fezandipiti EX. Again, draw is in almost every single deck we play. For the item cards, we play a single Buddy-Buddy Poffin. It's only one because our only target that we can use the Buddy Poffin for is the Larry's Dunsparce. So as long as we can get two of these out in play, one should be plenty. We do play two Earthen Vessel to get our Fighting Energy out. Spoiler alert, we do play Fighting Energy because of the Solrock and Lunatone engine. Fighting Gong, either get our Solrock and Lunatone, or we get our Fighting Energy. Two Nest Ball, just to grab any missing pieces we need. One Night Stretcher. I feel like only one is needed because we play other forms of recovery, either Pokemon or energy. So one should be enough. We play two Pokégear just to grab some supporters when we need them from the deck. And our ace spec of choice in this is Precious Trolley, just because we just want to get set up. With the amount of early game draw and setup, I feel like Precious Trolley is probably the best ace spec for this deck. I can also see an argument for Secret Box. I can see an argument for maybe Hyper Aroma, just to grab your Dudunsparce's EX out of the deck. Maybe Survival Race or Hero's Cape just to tank a hit, because 270 seems like a lot, but not really in this format. Prime Catcher can also be a decent ace spec, but we're going to play Precious Trolley in this list. I play two Super Rods, just get our Pokemon energy back into our deck. 1 Superior Energy Retrieval to help get our energy into our hand, because it pairs with Komala very well. We do play Ultra Ball. This was actually a new addition. I didn't really have Ultra Ball in this list, but I was finding issues getting the Dunsparces back or into my hand when I need them. And then our stadium choice is Practice Studio. I actually went back and forth on the stadium in this list. Honestly, none of them really fit well. Artisan, I was thinking Artisan, but at the same time, like, we have a lot of ways to get our Pokemon in play. And also our opponent plays Artisans a lot, so we can just take advantage of that. Grand Tree, we only really have 3 of the Dunsparces that will take advantage of it, so that wasn't really a good choice. Plus we have the Precious Trolley for the A-Spec. This seemed like the best bet, and honestly this is in here just for a stadium bump, just to counteract Force Vitality, to counteract Spike Mid, to counteract something that doesn't really help us but helps our opponent. Plus we do 10 more damage, so it can help set up some KOs if we need it. If we get 4 heads on our coin flip with the Practice Stadium, we can one-shot a Charizard, so there's always that. So it serves multiple purposes, but it's mainly just for help out with the stadium bumps. And as we go into the supporters, we play Arven, just because we play a good mix of tools and of items. Boss, just so we can control the Gus. And Hilda, honestly, Hilda's my favorite supporter in this list. We can get her the Dunsparces out, and we can get her Ignition Energy and power up our attack really quick. We play Iono just for the hand disruption. Alakazam is very prevalent right now, so this is a counter to Alakazam, and honestly this also helps when we have a dead hand early game. When we have this, we get a fresh 6 cards. Lana's 8 just to help get the Dunsparces or Lunatones and Solrock's back in her hand along with energy, and then Lillie's Determination, because Lillie's Determination is just a really great trainer card to have in any deck at the moment. It's kind of like the Iono, the Boss. Like, this is a staple in most decks at this point. We do play 1 Air Balloon. Again, the Lillie Dunsparce do have free retreat, but this helps get our other Pokemon out of the attack or out of the active. Through my testing, Komala was always there, or Lunatone Solrock, so being able to retreat and not use their energy is very helpful, especially with Komala being a 2 retreat cost. And I believe Lunatone is also 2. No, Lunatone's 1. And Solrock is 1. So it's mainly help with the Komala if we ever get into that position. We had played 1 EXP share. This was actually a newer addition to this list for me, just because it helps keep the energy in play, and we can move it from one Dunsparce, the Dunsparce, to another Dunsparce, and that's 1 less energy attachment we need to power it up. We do play Powerglass just so we can get energy back into play from the discard pile. And we play 1 Rigid Band. Honestly, if I'm going to cut a card from this list, this is the #1 card to cut, but it does help with some matchups because we are an attacking stage 1 deck. And when we get to energy, again, we talked about the Ignition Energy. This is the bread and butter of this deck. We play 7 basic Fighting Energy, and then we play 1 Mist Energy. This helps against Alakazam. This can help against Absol. Anywhere where effects of attack can be done, this is actually a really good card to have. It's only a 1 of, because we don't really encounter it that much in the matches we need it, so 1 is plenty, and our attack is colorless, so we could put in a Jet Energy in here, we can put a Luminous Energy in here, probably not Luminous because of the Ignition, but the Mist Energy does play a helpful role. So I may try something different if I feel like I need to adjust my list as we play in our matches coming up. I'll let you know any changes I do make. Typically we try to get a finalized list before we record, but I've been playing around with this and I feel like there's always something that this deck is just missing, but it is so much fun. It is a coin flipping deck, so be prepared to have 4 heads when you don't want 4 heads and 4 tails when you need 4 heads. But other than that, this is a fun deck, and I think it's time to take it on the ladder and see how it does. Okay everyone, we're in our first match here with Larry's Dudunsparce. We'll see how this goes. Through my testing, I'm actually having a really great time playing this deck. It reminds me a lot of the Baby Go Dangle list that we featured a little while ago, just with the amount of energy and coin flipping. Will I expect to see this in any regional? No. But if you go hot on your flips, I would say you can bring this to a league challenge and do fairly well. So I'm going to start with my Dunsparce. I can't remember if we're going first or second. They won twice. So we're going to go first. So I don't mind not putting the Komala there. I'm not really worried about Donk. And we're not going to get Donk because they're playing Earthen Cynical, which I am very familiar with. The Typhlosion deck is one of my decks I'm practicing a lot with, getting ready for Orlando Regional. So, unfortunately, we don't have a lot going on in our hand right now. I'm just going to end my turn. I don't want to play the practice stadium because I know they play Artisan and other and battle cages and other stadiums. EXP share, no point because we have no energy in play. So we'll see which version of Typhlosion they're playing. They're playing the Pidgeot. So if we can knock out the Pidgeot and disrupt their engine, that will be beneficial. I know there's multiple engines that this deck runs. There's the Pidgeot, there's the Charizard, there's the Dunsparce with the Runaway Draw. I've seen with the Dragapult. I've actually played with the Dragapult variant for a little bit of time. So they got going and they got one Ethan's in the discard. So we need to be careful. Once they get all four, they can one-shot our Dudunsparce very easily. I'm going to play now with Komala. What do I want to do? Could Lillie just get a fresh hand? If I get Hilda, I'm going to Lillies. I'm going to play the practice stadium for now. Play the Lillies and hopefully I get some more going on. And I do, and I actually get a decent amount of stuff to play with here. So I'm going to evolve. I can get the early KO if I'm lucky enough. I'll play the Rigid Band. I'll play the Lethargic Energy and get an energy on here. And I'm just going to attach one more. No, I'm going to save that. Because we only need one heads. Yeah, we'll save that and we'll flip. As long as we get one heads, we are fine. And we got it. So we'll take the first prize card of the game. We need to be a little careful because Typhlosion is also a single prize deck. We are a multi-prize deck. They can easily take out two prizes all at once, assuming their hand's good. So this is the second Ethan's Adventure. So they're probably going to get some cool lavas, get some out. If they have any Ultra Balls, they can just get all four in their discard and be off and running. And they also don't need a lot to set up. They just need one energy to attack. So they're using Bounded by a Journey. They're going to grab some Ethans. So we know they have all four because they already used two, and they got two more. I'm not sure they fixed this bug, but in real life, if you know they have four Ethans, they cannot use Bounded by the Journey anymore. Unless we disrupt their hand with the Iono, which we don't have at the moment. So they just pass. We can take out the Pidgey if we are fortunate enough. I am not sure if we're going to be able to pull that off. So let's Pokégear and see what we can get. We can get a Hilda, and that can actually do that for us. Yeah, let's get a Hilda. And we're going to play it and grab a Ignition. We got two more left in the deck. I'll grab another Dunsparce. I may not evolve it yet, that way I have a pivoter, but we'll use the lethargic charge, get the ignition energy on there. I wish we had a boss. I would rather boss up one of the Golavas, but we'll take out the Pidgey. And we'll play Nest Ball here. We'll grab... We'll grab a Lunatone for now, and then we can use an Ultra Ball later on to get the Solrock. So we'll just attack. Hopefully we get a heads. This is the scary part. We may not. And we don't. So this is the life of coin flipping. Like, we can get it, we can't get it. I've done it where I flipped, I think, 6 coins and they were all tails. So it is a risk. We have to use 2 of our ignition energies, and we only got prize from 1 of them. So using the other Ethans, it's interesting that they don't have Ultra Ball, but honestly, we're playing slow, and we're giving them the opportunity to use the supporter and just build up their hand and build up their board. So I don't blame them for not using it. So we got Typhlosion. So they can either evolve this and get the Pidgeot, or they're going to manually retreat, which I think is what they're doing. But they only have 3 in the discard, so they're only doing 220, and then we do have a Rigid Band. So they're not going to knock us out. But they can knock out something with Hyper Blower, so there's that. I'm going to give him the Komala, because I have Night Stretcher, so I can always get that back. So they only would have done 190 because of the Rigid Band. So we'll promote the Dunsparce, because it has free retreat. We don't need to evolve this one yet. Okay, so we got the Solrock, so we can draw. So we'll Lunar Cycle, see what else we can get. Okay, we got another Ignition. How many discard? We got 2. We can use Lana's Aid. Going to retreat. I'm actually gonna Pokégear. I feel a Pokégear. Going to use lethargic charge. Night Stretcher back to Komala, that way we can use another lethargic charge. That way we have 4 coins that we can flip at the present moment. And then I'll Lana's Aid, get the energy. I'll manually attack. I wish I had the ESP share on this guy, but I don't have that right now. So I'll just flip. I just need 2 flips. So we got 2. We're exactly 170 because of the practice studio. So we got an Arven that can help us get some tools for next turn. But we need to be careful. We are down with 3 ignition energies. And we still have a whole lot of Pokemon to play. That's the last Ethan's Adventure. So as of now, they're still not gonna be able to knock me out, because even though they can do 280, they're doing 30 less because of the Rigid Band. So they're only doing 250. So I should be able to survive this unless they play the Fine Spell or play a Max Spell. I don't know what their A spec is yet. they haven't played it, it's usually Secret Box, but I've seen Max Belt and I've played Max Rod just to help with the getting your resources. And then yeah, Brave Return, or Brave Bingo, that would have done it. So let's do the Dunsparce here. That will have another chance with it. Let's see what we can get with Town Store. We'll get the EXP share. We'll put that on the Solrock. We will evolve. And we'll use Hilda here, and we'll grab the last Ignition. Wish we had the Fezandipiti, but we don't have that right now. Probably should have used that. But if we flip 3 heads, we should be able to knock this Typhlosion out. It's a lot to ask with only having 3 energy. So any tails, we're kind of out. 1, 2, there we go. We got all 3. Granted, they have the Typhlosion in the backup here, but at least we can get a prize. Technically, they don't have to do anything to knock us out, and we aren't really hitting that much for them, so they have a turn. But yeah, single prize decks are really one of our weaknesses, just because they can win on the prize trade, and that's just how it is playing these multi-prize heavy decks that are going to be our main attackers. Honestly, they probably got game here because I can't really do much. I'll promote the Solrock because I could attack, but I'm not sure what playing on. I just like playing on. So we'll play Fighting Gong, grab an energy here. We can draw some more. We got 2 more energy. We'll play Town Store. And we'll grab Air Balloon. We don't necessarily need it. We're going to use it as Ultra Ball fodder. Oh, almost played the wrong card. So Ultra Ball. We'll go away with these 2. We'll grab Fez here. We'll draw. So again, I know we're not in it, but we can use this opportunity to practice sequencing, see what our outcome will be, and just playing to our outs. I know everyone has their opinion. When you're this far back, do you play it out? So I want to attach to the Solrock here. I want a boss. I want to just grab as many prizes as we can. We can knock out the Pidgey. And we'll just Cosmic Beam, we'll knock it out and take our prize cards. And then they'll promote the Typhlosion and just knock us out. It's not that big of a deal. But at least you saw what the Dunsparce deck can do, and just the nice synergy between how the deck works with Komala and having the Solrock Lunatone engine for draw. Again, single prize decks are not our friend. They can out-hit us. And we're very coin flippy, so. But it was nice to play against a Typhlosion. You don't really see this every day. So I'm glad that we're able to meet up with one and see how the version that they're playing, and how just cohesive that is as well. So we'll go on to the next match and see how Larius the Dunsparce does next. Okay, y'all, we're in another game here with Larius the Dunsparce EX, featuring our favorite trainers Pokemon. And if you played through Scarlet Violet, let us know how you felt about Larry. I thought he's actually one of my favorite characters, even though they didn't really give him much of a backstory. But we do know a lot about him, and I think the way they've done it kind of I don't know, it was really cool how they did it, in my opinion. We'll start the Solrock here. And maybe we're going against a Lycanroc deck, which will be pretty cool. Lycanroc was Frostlass Monkey Dory, it looks like. So I'm pretty familiar with Lycanroc, as you can tell. As you know, we made a deck and we featured it on this channel, so if you want to go ahead and watch it, feel free to do that. But I believe they're playing with the new Galarian Obstagoon, which has a similar attack. Okay, so we're going to play Nest Ball here. We'll grab a Lunatone. That way we can attack. We have a Fighting Gong. Yes, a Fighting Gong. We'll grab an Energy. I don't think we really need a Mist Energy for this match. So we'll use Luna Draw. We'll attach for turn. And I want Iono, but they only have 4 cards left. And they need a lot of pieces right now. I'm not Iono, because we need a better setup here. Okay, so we at least get a Komala. Unfortunately, we didn't get Larry's Dunsparce. So probably should use the Ultra Ball. But we will use Cosmic Beam, take out one of their Rockruffs. And we get Larry's Dunsparce, and we put that down if we don't get disrupted. With Frostlass, we need to be careful because of our abilities. The good thing is Larry's the Dunsparce EX doesn't have one, so our main attacker won't really have it. But now they got the Lycanroc, they have Spiky Energy on, but they didn't take full advantage of the Spiky Clad ability. I probably would have held off on that, but they're thinking, oh, I need to hit into them, I want to get damage on me and power up their attack. And then they have the Toxtricity to power up the Obstagoon, it looks like. Okay, so we'll play down the Larry's Dunsparce here. Arven. Okay, we don't have Trolley in deck. I'm gonna get a Nest Ball. And I'll grab EXP Sharp for now. So we'll Nest Ball for a second one of these dudes. That way we have options. I will EXP Sharp here. And I'm not going to use a Powerglass, so I'm going to get rid of that. We'll grab some energy. We'll Lunar Cycle here. Got energy on this dude. I want to attack, but then we'll get damage on us and we can knock them out. But they need it. They need a lot to attack us. So we'll do that. So as long as we can knock this out before they even attack us, we should be fine. Because they have a really low card hand. So there's not a lot that they can do right now. probably power up something else on the board, but we know they're not attacking along Hidori because it doesn't look like they're playing Psychic Energy. And our opponent just concedes. It was probably too much for that deck. It's very combo reliant, they need a lot of pieces, and we actually got a chance to set up our board pretty nicely. I kind of wish they would have played that out a little bit. It does seem like an interesting concept, and it was something I was considering about making with pairing the Lycanroc with the Learning Obstagoon. But it just shows that when you build decks, you need to try to make them as consistent as possible. Yes, a lot of these cards are really fun and nice, but if they're too combo reliant or too many pieces are needed, when it comes to just playing the game, you're not going to be able to set up, and you'll just be stuck for a long period of time. Having the Solrock gave us an option to at least attack while we were whiffing on our Larry's Dunsparces, and they probably knew that we had an attack next turn, and they were probably just too far behind. So, okay, but we'll take that victory, and we'll go into game 3 and see how we do. Okay, y'all, we're back in another game here with Larry's the Dunsparce EX. We won the coin flip. I'm going to choose to go second, just so we can have the ability to use the supporter. Getting Arven looking for Trolley is probably one of the best things that we can do, and that's something we could have done if we had Basic in our hand. This is actually a pretty good opening hand, other than not having a Basic. Because with the Fighting Gong Nest Ball, make sure we had the Precious Trolley, because I've been prizing that way more often than I have in the past. So we'll see what we're playing. We'll start off with the Komala. So this is probably, if we can get the Air Balloon, we'll put the Air Balloon on there. And we're going against Mega Lucario, which we are weak against, so we need to be careful with that. But we can try to win on the prize trade if we possibly can. But it doesn't seem like they have a lot going on. So let's get our Fighting Gong now. I'll use Lillie's here, get a fresh hand. Okay, we got something. On the Lunar Cycle, see what else we can get. Okay. I'm going to attach to the Komala, put EXP share on here. And I'm just going to use this to draw. I'm still asleep, but honestly I'm more or less waiting to get knocked out or to find a way to get Air Balloon. So the good thing is, if they don't evolve, we're not getting knocked out even with weakness, but they do evolve, so we're going to get knocked out. Because we don't even need weakness because they're doing 130, so... But we can get the Lillie Dudunsparce into the active. We have the EXP share, so we're saving energy attachment. We just need to try to find another Komala, that way we can find some easy ways to get more energy acceleration, and then use Iono, limit down our hand size. It's not that bad. We got the Night Stretcher to get Komala back. We just need to find a way to get the Dunsparce. So they're gonna use Aura Jab, power up probably their Lucario or Riolu, yep. That's what I was expecting. Part of me thinks to actually promote the Solrock, get some chip damage on. I'm going to do that because they can easily knock out my Larry's the Dunsparce. We get a Fez, so that's good. Second. And we'll grab the Komala. And we'll just Iono. I really hope we get a Fighting Energy. Okay, we have ways to get Fighting Energy. We are fine. Plus, we still have Fez. So let's use Fez before we use Earthen Vessel. And we got that energy. Okay. Okay, we'll evolve, we'll attach. I'm gonna do some chip damage with Cosmic Beam here. Just hit for 70. That's important because it does save us. We're at 270, so we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4 heads instead of 5 heads. Better than nothing. And then use Iono. We actually had a pretty decent hand for next turn, but. Okay, we still have something going. Just wish we had that Ignition Energy. Those keep being put back into the bottom of our deck. But we can shuffle, we have Nest Ball. And they're going to retreat. Interesting. Probably recognizing that it will take, it was easier to knock that thing out, but we're a coin flip deck. You're asking for a lot from us. I'll promote this dude because it is a free retreater. Okay. I'm gonna use flip to script. Okay, what's in our deck? Our discard, okay. What I should have done was Artisan or Nest Ball, just to shuffle. Okay, so we only have one Komala in our deck anyway. Okay. We have all 4 Ignition Energies, so I'm just going to use that to shuffle. We didn't really need it. Oh, we have the other Komala here. So, don't necessarily need... I'll play down the other Komala. I'm going to retreat. And we'll do Lethargic Charge. want to save on the Dunsparce. And we'll hit. We're not going to knock them out even if we get 4 heads. 2 and 2. It's okay. Coin flips haven't been good with this deck. Typically, I can get a lot. If you're playing maybe King is Gone, you know how the coin flips are. Being weak to fighting is definitely a very bad thing, especially in this format. Lucario is making a comeback, especially if you're going for rotation, or post rotation. I think Mega Lucario is actually becoming one of the top decks going forward, since we are losing Gardevoir. Yeah, they're just going back and forth between their Lucarios. They can easily knock us out. And that's why I didn't want to play Practice Stadium or Practice Studio, because it just gives them another way to knock us out easily, because they're doing exactly 270 with the Practice Studio in play. So we'll promote the Larry's Dunsparce here. Okay, we got Ignition Energy. Just in case I can get more back. And there's 6 in there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to Super Rod energy back. And then we'll flip the script, see if we get any of it. Okay, we got some of it. And then we will Lunar Cycle. Okay, we got 2 Ignition, that's what I was looking for. Gives us some more shots of one-shotting this dude. But unfortunately, this is probably the end of the road for us, but we can try to get 3 prizes. We can get at least 2 more energy. And I'm going to go for the low-hanging fruit here, knock out this dude, or at least attempt to. And we'll see, we're flipping 7 coins. And there's all our coin flips. We could have knocked that out. Well, at least we get 3 prizes off of this. And you can at least see how the deck works. We're very reliant on the coin flips. Even if we get everything right, we're not. We just need to hit the heads. And if we don't hit the heads, we're just not doing much damage or any damage. So there's that. The weakness wasn't helpful either, but it's the coin flips, guys. I can't really do much about that, but even going against a deck like Mega Lucario where we are clearly at disadvantage, we could win, again, if Work Rush worked in our favor. So, well, that's this card, and that's just playing with the coin flip deck. Well, the coin flips weren't necessarily in our favor today, but that's just how it rolls sometimes. I do like this deck. This is a pretty fun deck. It's also pretty easy to get going. Again, it's flipping heads and getting the energy attached. And the cool thing is you don't really need a lot of energy compared to the deck, kind of like that Baby Go Dango deck that we played a little bit ago on this channel. You don't really need a lot of energy. Ignition Energy is a very big help in this list. Honestly, if it wasn't for Ignition, I'm not sure if this deck would even have a chance of playability at all. But yeah, this is a really fun deck. Again, I didn't really find any issues getting this set up. It's just getting those heads. I know in the beginning I'm like, oh, if I find a way to change this, I will. Honestly, I like this build. The only thing I possibly change out are the tools, so maybe the Powerglass or even the Rigid Band. But even then, they did show up for some reason. If I take out the Powerglass, I honestly wouldn't know what to put in. Maybe a third practice studio or even maybe an artisan just to get our Pokemon out. But otherwise, this is a pretty, I wouldn't say optimized list, but this is a nice steady list here. But yeah, if you want to try this out, play this at your local league night. If y'all do rogue tournaments like we do in my shop, this is a very good contender for that. Yeah, let us know what you think and what you guys will add. Also, if you made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe to us if you aren't already so. When looking at our data, it shows that a majority of y'all that watch our videos are not subscribed to us. So if you can, please hit the subscribe button below. You'll see all our videos that we upload. We're in the process of making a bunch of Ascended Heroes decks. We're already in that format. And again, I'm practicing for Orlando Regional, which will be in this format. So this is a way for me to figure out what I'm going to be playing, because you know I'm not going to be playing the top tier decks. I'm not going to play Duolingo. I'm not going to be playing Dragon Ball most likely. So I am trying to experiment to see which deck I will want to bring to that regional, with it being probably my only regional of the year. So this is kind of part of my journey of figuring that out for the next 2 months. And also, a lot of these decks are really fun to do. I've been playing with other decks on our list. As you can tell, I'll show you, we've got a bunch going on. I've been practicing the Mega Dragonite. I'm really liking the Honchkrow, which if you want to look at that video, we'll put somewhere below where that way you can watch this. Canary is introduced in this set. I've been having fun with that one. Erica's Toolbox. We just have a bunch of decks ready to go, ready to show up for y'all. But yeah, thank you for watching this week's Rogue Deck Showcase video featuring Larry's Dudunsparce. Hopefully your coin flips are in your favor. And until next time, y'all, have fun playing those sneaky decks. See you guys.